Well, finally, after years and years and years in development hell, AEW has finally announced a release date for the Fight Forever video game. And of course, who better to make the announcement than the man himself, Kenny Omega? Check out this clip.
Quite some time ago, we announced our first foray into the video game world, AEW Fight Forever. We wanted to develop an arcade experience that was fun, easy to pick up and play, but difficult to master. And we believe that AEW and our partners with Ukes have created just that experience. And finally, I'm happy to announce that we are ready to announce a release date. So, for Nintendo Switch, PS4, 5, Xbox, and PC, you can finally get your hands on AEW Fight Forever on June 29th. Get your copy now, pre-download, pre-order. Thank you so much for your patience in being awesome fans, and I hope to see you guys online in the game. Until then, must bid you adieu, goodbye, and good night. Bye-bye.
I'm excited. I'm excited for the new game. I love a good wrestling game. The WWE 2K games are a bit complicated. They're a bit more advanced. You can't just pick up the controller and play it unless it's on like easy mode or something. You'll get your ass kicked. Takes a little bit of a skill level and a learning curve to get used to that game. AEW said they've set out to design a game that's easy to just pick up and play, but yet difficult to master, as Kenny Omega said. So I'm excited to see that. And they've modeled the game after the old WCW NWO Revenge game or the No Mercy game. Those games were classics in their day, some of the greatest wrestling video games ever created. They don't look as realistic. The AEW game definitely looks very arcadey. It is not a realism game, whereas you look at WWE 2K, they go for realism, similar to the other 2K games. And I like that there's both of those out there. There can be both. It would be cool to have a realistic AEW video game, but I like that they decided to go with something different. You know, you can't, Eric Bischoff always likes to say, you can't, if you're just trying to copy the big guy, you're always going to look like number two. If you can't be better than, be different than. They are not going to create a game that's going to beat WWE 2K. That's not going to be better than. It's not going to look better. The gameplay is not going to be, they're just not going to top it. So they have to be different than. What's the best way to be different than? Go arcade style. Go a little bit more cartoony. And go with something that people already love and have a fond memory for. That gameplay mode, the way that game was set up back in the day, the way that you could edit your characters, the way that you could do the moves, the way the blood was, the weapons, the fighting, just the controls of it, the whole gameplay of those games, there's a reason those games are so fondly remembered by wrestling fans. A lot of it is maybe they're just the games that they grew up on, and there's definitely something to be said for that, but these were the wrestling games. Before that, like the Super Nintendo games, I don't know if you've played how far back your wrestling history of video games goes, but I remember playing like Steel Cage for the regular NES with like Hulk Hogan and Bam Bam Bigelow and Andre the Giant and Macho Man and Ted DiBiase. And then for the Super Nintendo, they had a string of games. They had a Super WrestleMania, which had the first Survivor Series mode. And then there was, after that, Royal Rumble, which I had a friend that had Royal Rumble, and we played the fuck out of Royal Rumble back in the day. And then the upgrade to that was Raw, that had like Diesel and the 1-2-3 Kid and Owen Hart and Luna Vachon. And then, up into the 64, the Super Nintendo games were kind of like you're facing each other and you could punch and you could kick. You could lock up, and that was one of the cool things about the Super Nintendo ones is you could lock up, and it had the meter where you could struggle back and forth, and then do like a suplex or something, and then you could build up to your finisher at the end of the match or something. Those were good for their time in those days, but really with the Nintendo 64 and the wrestling games that were created for that system, they were game changers. Absolute fucking game changers for the world of professional wrestling gaming. So I like that they're copying that model. I think this is going to do great. I also like that it's designed, at least as far as I'm aware, as I've heard and read, it's designed to be upgradable. So they're not going to come up with a Fight Forever 2 next year, Fight Forever 2024. It's just going to be a game that's going to be out for the foreseeable future, 5 years, probably at least 6. Until technology advances so much. There's a PlayStation 6 and they just need to do an upgraded game. But until then, they're just going to do like the downloadable upgrades and that kind of thing. My hair is bugging me. Where you can just download new characters or new arenas. Like Collision, obviously, is not going to be built into the game. But that can absolutely be an add-on for next year or later this year or something like that. They can design like a downloadable Collision package or whatever the fuck, a Ring of Honor package, add Ring of Honor to it. There's lots of fun things that they can continue to do with that game. I think it's going to be a hit. I think wrestling fans will really like it. Adam Cole came out and he spoke about it. He said that it's going to be fun, and he is a video game aficionado, if there ever was one. And, of course, he works for AEW, so he could just be blowing smoke up everybody's ass. But he says that it's very fun and that people will love it. So you got to take his word for it, right? It's Adam Cole, baby. He's not going to fib us. He doesn't fib. He's a good, wholesome, honest, pure of heart man. But I'm excited. I'm a gamer. I'm a casual gamer. I'm not online all the time playing shit but I am a casual gamer. I like the Grand Theft Auto games and stuff like that. But wrestling games are always fun, and this one will certainly be exciting. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Are you excited for this game? Are you glad it's finally got a release date? Do you not care? Did you not like any of those old Revenge or No Mercy games? What did you think about those old games? Are you excited that AEW is doing a game like that? Or would you like to see them do something more realistic like 2K? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next.
Oh yeah, thanks for checking out the video. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like it if you liked it. Yeah, and you can check out full episodes each and every Sunday right here on the channel. Oh yeah, dig it.